Never amazed by the stuff I come across online. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Let's get into the video.
I caught up with an old friend and she was telling me that she got divorced. And I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids and I just got lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some excitement in her. I caught up with an old friend and she was telling me that she got divorced. And I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids and I just got lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some excitement in her life. She just felt like she was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And she had other friends that had, boyfriends, or like they had just got married and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, they had a big house, they had nice things. Like, he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced. And now, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I fucking hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun. They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good.
I gotta stop right there. This is crazy to me, y'all. I don't know what your thoughts are listening to this young lady, but and again, she's not talking about herself. She's talking about a friend of hers. But be honest with me. What are you guys thinking as you're listening to this? Please drop those comments in the comment section. I'm really curious to think what you guys think about this. And like I always tell you guys, I always try to come from a biblical perspective because that's who I am. And it's funny how she starts off being bored, 11 years of marriage. Okay, and we'll get into the whole time frame when it comes to marriage. But there's so many issues here that many people don't recognize early enough, nor do they have the training or they understand to know how to deal with it. And then what's funny is they eventually get divorced. Now she has what she thought she was missing out on, and now she hates that too. I think the biggest lesson I've learned in my life is material things will never satisfy you. Money will never satisfy you. All of us have something in our life that we feel like is missing. And I've always heard that empty space inside of you where you feel like you're always chasing these other things. I truly believe that is Jesus Christ. I really do. And there was a time when I didn't. But I say that just to give you a different perspective on everything in this world is meaningless. None of this stuff we're going to take with us. So this lady that she's talking about has now destroyed a family. And I'm talking, there's a lot of damage there. She's going to be damaged. The husband's going to be damaged. The children are going to be damaged. And you guys have heard me say this before in other videos. God is a God of order, not a God of chaos. And when you do things outside of his order, you are going to have chaos. One of the most difficult things in marriage is being intentional. Most of us date to get married when we should really be getting married to date our spouses. We get married, we get comfortable, we get busy, everything becomes mundane, and we just get to the point where we feel like there's something missing or life isn't all we thought it was supposed to be or cracked up to be. And that's exactly what I hear. What a lot of people don't realize too, you also heard this lady said that she was looking at her friends and the lifestyles that they had. I'm telling you right now, the devil will do all kinds of things to steal, kill, and destroy God's design of what marriage was designed to be. And when you open those doors and you don't get the help that you need, you end up destroying something that should have never been destroyed. There was nothing mentioned about him cheating on her. All she said was that he was working hard. She's a stay-at-home mom, so she doesn't have to go out of the house to work, but she's bored. And I also have to be a little bit harder on the husband, because what a lot of men fail to do is meet those emotional needs of their spouses. And it's not always easy. Like I said, each of these situations go deeper and deeper, and it's different for every person. But just at a very basic level, a lot of us men, we get married and we're like, without even thinking, I think it's more subconscious. We're like, well, I've already conquered her. I don't need to try anymore. And actually, it's just the opposite of that. Usually men, not all men, but a lot of men, we wait until it gets to the point where the wife is ready to walk away, and we're like, what's the problem? I thought we were good. It's just the way we're wired. And if you're in a marriage and you are doing these things and you're not taking the time to figure out what these issues are or being intentional in your relationship, it's a very strong possibility it will end in divorce.
Time, and then that's it. She said no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing?
Yeah.
And she's like, I know. And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like, seriously. They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work, she's a stay-at-home mom. They haven't had any new kids, but they're planning on having kids. She's pissed because she's like, how can he move on so fast? Like, I can't even find nobody, and he just found someone so quick, and he didn't even want to give us another try, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was so confused because I was like, okay, so you divorced him because he was always working and you were bored. So now you are single, going out, having a good time, dating, but you don't like that. Now you want someone to take care of you, a provider. And your ex-husband, all he wanted to do was be a provider. That's why now he is dating someone who he has no problem providing for her and her kids. And she's pissed because she's like, why would he go and find someone who has kids? Like, he already has kids. Why would he want to take on that responsibility? And I'm like, wait, aren't you looking for someone to take on that responsibility?
For me, having made mistakes in this area, it's heartbreaking to see families destroyed. Like I said, I've been there. It is not fun. And there's a lot of healing that has to take place. And it's sad because the devil's sitting back laughing because he was able to schmooze her into believing that the grass was greener, listening to her girlfriend, and who knows doing what else, maybe scrolling on TikTok, looking at other people's fake lives and all the stuff that they post, and it looked like their lives were such, so much more meaningful than hers. So she drinks the Kool-Aid and then gets out there and realizes, oh crap, what have I done? And now she's upset because he doesn't want to give her another chance. It's just crazy to me, And again, I'm not beating her up because I have walked down that road myself, thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. My heart breaks for not only the couple involved, but just the fallout that the children are going to have to deal with. A lot of people will say children are resilient. To a degree, I believe that is true. But I also believe that the baggage that these children will have into their adult years, there will definitely be some baggage based on what they observed in their younger years, especially if they don't get counseling or closure to help them understand what happened between mom and dad. And most people don't. When they get divorced, they go to these little meetings that they make the parents go through for parenting classes, but typically it's rare that children actually get counseling to help them understand what just happened to prevent that future baggage. From a human standpoint, I can't say I feel sorry for the lady that sounds like she made the decision to divorce because she was bored. Hopefully she learned her lesson. And here's what's crazy to me too. Now she's sitting there with 3 kids that she's trying to handle on her own without having the support of her former husband. I'm sure he's paying some sort of alimony or child support, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? It's just not the same. And now she's sitting there single while he's already moved on and moved in with some other woman. So again, it's a crazy world that we live in, and it's sad because there are consequences to all the choices that we make, good or bad. Good choices, good things. Bad choices, bad things. So anyway, be sure that you guys give me your thoughts, and if you haven't already done so, like this video, also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of this good content. I love you guys, and I will check you on the next one. Take care of your families, your loved ones, and keep your eyes on your own garden. Fertilize your own garden. And this is to you men. Take care of what you got at home. Take care of what God gave you. That's His daughter. Take care of her. Treat her like she is a garden. Fertilize her. Water her. Do all the things God expects you to do when He gave her to you in marriage. Your job is to steward her. So, those of you that aren't doing it, because for a long time I wasn't. I always throw myself under the bus first. Step up and start being that person. And just watch the changes when you start leading the way we're supposed to lead our families as the head of our homes. Love you guys.